people I could completely be honest with. Thirdly, I protected my sleep and my solitude. And on this briefing today, I believe that you would learn a lot about distressing. Even on my busiest days, I gathered at least 1 hour that was entirely mine, whether it was a walk, music, or just silence. That hour alone has recharged me over time. Fast forward to my professional life as a geoscientist, the energy sector is not known for being gentle because you have deadlines, you have projects that are complex, stakes are high, and the culture, particularly in early career, can sometimes feel like you're kind of always available. You must always be sharp. You must always be performing. But I want to, I'm not sharing this to impress you, but to impress upon you that thriving is possible, not because life becomes easier, but because you become wiser, you become more intentional, and also better equipped. And that is what we exactly will talk about today. Now it is my absolute honor to introduce the woman who will take us deeper, and I say deeper, into these conversations with expertise. Please on to the next slide so they can see our distinguished speaker. Yes, our speaker today is Dr. Terila Adresi. So I'll read her profile and then the floor will be all hers. Dr. Terila is a dedicated medical doctor with experience in patient care and a growing passion for leveraging health technology and innovation to transform healthcare delivery. She's known for simplifying complex medical topics. She has excelled as a health speaker, delivering engaging and impactful talks to diverse audiences. Recently, Tarila has been pivoting into health technology and consulting, combining a strong foundation in clinical practice with an emerging interest in innovative solutions. She is focused on creating broad, systematic improvements in healthcare. She actively shares their learning journey to inspire and connect with others in the industry. Driven by a vision to improve healthcare access and outcomes, Terila is committed to influencing the future of healthcare through technology, strategy, and impactful public health initiatives. She's a member of the Preventive Wellness and Quality Assurance Unit at AXA Mansard Health. She's not here to give us a lecture full of jargon. She's here to give us practical strategies, the kind you can begin using today in your real life with the real pressures you face. Please welcome on board Dr. Terila Adrese. The floor is all yours. We are ready.
Thank you, Harry. Good morning, everyone. I think the person that did the initial introduction mentioned how people are in different time zones. So, good day, everyone. How are we all doing this morning? How was your week? Let us quickly type in the chats. How are you? How has your week been? How are you doing? I'm looking forward to reading our responses in the chat. While my slide comes on, I would like to thank Olaiton for inviting me. And then, yeah, thanks for the introduction, Henry. Thanks for sharing the story. I think that's something that even if people cannot relate to directly, it's something that affects people's lives in different ways. So, okay, Henry says it's copacetic. All right. Others, if you're on the call, good morning. How are you? How has your week been? Let me know that we are all together. Okay. All good. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Oluwapukumi. All right, let's just get started. We're going to be talking about thriving beyond stress. And I really like that one thing that has been emphasized is that you are actually going to live here with practical tips. That's great, Abel. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Ikaria. All right, so before we dive into it, one thing I can be sure of is that most of the people on this call, we are all high achievers, in that you're either working corporate or whatever it is, you're doing really hard work, and sometimes your work requires you to just work a little harder. And in choosing to work a little harder, you're sleeping less, you're just staying online for just a little longer to see what you can do, to see how you can get to the next level of your career. But as a physician, one thing that I've noticed is that these current habits is like you're piling up checks that is going to be cashing, that you cash in later on. Your body cannot cash them in, right? The sleep you're losing, the amount of time you're spending just staying up doing working back to back is something that your body is really fighting hard to keep up with. And one thing that happens with stress is that stress is not just in your mind, it's not just what you're doing day to day, it is something that affects your whole body, it affects your whole biological system, so to speak. So today we're going to be talking about not just relaxing, right? We're talking about what you can do day in, day out. So we're first going to start with the effect of stress. So one thing to note is that stress is inevitable. I always like to say this whenever I'm talking about stress. Stress is inevitable. You cannot escape stress. Your body is designed to respond to stress and to even just get in that state for safety purposes. So it's a natural response, right? So we tend to think more hours equals success, but that's not the case, because biologically, your prefrontal cortex, just in your brain here, can start to shut down. And in this case, you're no longer being productive, you're just being busy, and your brain is intoxicated by fatigue. So the goal is not just for you to eliminate stress, it's for you to increase your recovery capacity, right? Because like I said, the stress will be there. The question is, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to um, live well regardless, to move from chronic survival to thriving? So this diagram just shows how it starts. So you could start with too little stress or no stress, right? There's an underload of stress. Then you get to the peak where you hit fatigue and exhaustion. It becomes too much when you leave the optimal aspect. Because one thing to note about stress, in some places there's something called eustress. That's the stress that your body actually needs to function. You need it to be able to meet some targets in some cases. But the problem is when you're not recovering, when you're not taking out time to recover from that. And this can actually proceed to burnout, can proceed to breakdown. You don't want to get to this point. Now, what is the science of stress? What is happening within your body when you think of stress? I think I already mentioned earlier how when the topic of stress comes on, people tend to think of it only only in the mind, right? You only think, oh, it's all in your mind. You can do more, and that is why people push their bodies to do more. However, a lot is happening in your body when it comes to stress. Biologically, your body does not know the difference between you being chased by a dog or what animal are you scared of, and you responding to an email from your boss, say scolding you, right? I don't know if you guys do a lot of emails or how that applies to your business. Both responses trigger your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous
And not be
system
asking with it.
is,
Like seriously.
Sorry, please turn off your mic, please. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. So your sympathetic nervous system is what we call your fight or flight response, right? You put your body in a fight or flight mode. And what happens when you are stressed is that your body is always in this state. And when you stay in this state for too long, other aspects of your body, your creativity, is going to shut down. So the goal of your body at that point is to just save energy for you to survive, right? Our goal today is actually for you to be able to manually switch, flip the switch so that you can go to the parasympathetic state, a state where you can actually rest and digest, so you can recover regardless of how much you need and have to do at every point in time. You must learn to manually close the loop. This image just shows different things that are happening in your body when the sympathetic nervous system is engaged and when the parasympathetic nervous system is engaged. I don't want to bore you too much, but simple and short, the sympathetic system is what tells your body to run for your life, fight for your life, make sure you survive. Parasympathetic system is what tells you to rest and relax. This is important because there are many chronic conditions that people have these days. Stress is a major risk factor for these conditions. So it is very important to make sure that regardless of how stressed you are, you should be able to get back to that recovery phase, right? Be able to flip the switch and just relax. It is beyond relaxing. Put your body in a state where it's not just surviving, it is thriving at that point. So we're going to just jump right into the strategies to thrive when it comes to stress. So we'll start with the power of micro recoveries. Many people wait until, some people are always looking forward to weekends, like when it's Saturday and Sunday, I'm not going to do anything, I'm going to rest and stuff like that. And the fact that you're waiting for that long means that you're just piling it on and on and on, right? The goal of this is for you to be able to recover from stress at different points of your day. You don't want to wait till a specific time. You don't want to wait till you're taking your annual leave or till you're going traveling or going on a break before you do something about it. Even within your 12 hours work, or how many hours do we work for now? 8 to 12 hours of work, you should be able to take a break in between and just relax, right? The goal is for us to have small wins at different points of the day with a big impact. So one strategy to do is a 90 minutes walk rule. We also call it the ultradian rhythm. And what happens here is you're working in sprints, right? You're going to focusing for 90 minutes without interruptions, then take a 5 minutes break. One problem we have these days is our mobile devices, our screens. These days, if you want to go on a break, if you are here and your idea of relaxing is scrolling through social media, be it TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just give me a quick thumbs up. If you feel relaxed when you're doing that, give me a quick thumbs up, please. Okay, that's one hand. I actually expect more. Okay, I see about three now. So that is what we tend to do these days. Yes, thank you. That's something people tend to do these days. When you want to take a break, you're taking a break with your phone and you're scrolling. But the way this is going to help when it comes to stress or thriving with stress is to actually take a no screens break. So focus for 90 minutes, do a 90 minutes focus, and then use the 5 minutes, take 5 minutes off to just rewire your brain and help you continue work. In cases like this, you find out that because you are resting just in between your work hours, you are able to recover quicker and continue to work. There is also something called box breathing, right? Or taking deep breaths. This is something that, okay, I think I saw in the outline of the program that you're going to do some practicing afterwards. So I guess we can do it, or it can be done afterward. But what you're doing in this case is you are inhaling for 4 seconds, breathing 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and even hold that exhale for 4 seconds. This is called a physiological sigh, right? And what you're doing at that point is you're mechanically offloading the carbon dioxide that you breathe in, and that signals your brain at that point to lower your heart rate, right? It's a biological heart to have to move your body from that sympathetic fight or flight mode to the rest and recovery mode in under 30 seconds. And it really helps, right? That's something else that you can do. So another step to take is what we call grounding. We call it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, where you are noticing things around you. So sight, what are you seeing? Touch something around you, listen to sounds around you, smell something and taste something. So what you're doing at that point is you're being grounded. All these things we've said so far are things that you can actually do in between a very, very busy work day, right? Work can be very, very busy, but this is something you can actually take off time to do. So when you're working, it makes sense that you work at a 90 minutes sprint, but you can take a 5 minutes break for every 90 minutes before you go back to work. Practice box breathing, deep breaths. Another thing you can do is actually take deep breaths itself. Breathe in deeply, out, do that like 3, 4 times, continue work. Those are things you can do in between your busy work schedule. So we call them micro recoveries. Then next, we're going to talk about digital boundaries. Many of us already admitted to how often we tend to be on our mobile devices. So one thing that happens in between your workday, if you are always taking time to like switch between work and distractions. I know we call it multitasking. This thing we do where sometimes you're working and you have like a movie or a YouTube video playing in the background. That is a lot of things happening at that point. Or whenever you're working and you're pausing to check a notification on your phone, you're paying a cost at that time. What that does is it leads to, so your brain consumes a lot of glucose. Glucose is sugar, but that doesn't mean you like take food that has sugar. Most of your carbohydrates are converted to glucose in your body. So your rice, your beans, your yam, your gari, it's converted to glucose in your body, and many of that go to your brain. So what happens when you're switching attentions, your attention, when you're going from one thing to another within a short time, is that your prefrontal cortex starts to lose glucose, right? It depletes the quantity of glucose that is required there, and that leads to decision fatigue, right? You are slower when it comes to responding to comments. You don't or tasks. You're not as quick as you should be when it comes to carrying out tasks. Another thing that comes with your devices, your phones, is that the blue light from the phones inhibits melatonin. Melatonin is an hormone that actually helps with sleep. So sometimes when people are complaining that they're unable to sleep, or one thing people tend to do before you go to bed, so for many people, you sleep, your phone falls on your face before you know to put it away to sleep. Your phone is the last thing you're pressing before you go to bed. That interrupts sleep. It sometimes ruins your sleep. What your phone does is it disrupts dopamine in your body, right? The dopamine disruptor. So you need to have boundaries with your digital devices. So what you can do to reclaim your mental space when it comes to your digital devices, start with a notification hygiene. I don't have notifications for my social media apps turned on my phone, which is why I tend to reply messages whenever I see them. The only notifications I get on my phone are SMS alerts. That's because like in case of the credit alerts and debit alerts. And the people who have my number who know to text me, there are some people who I text for communication. Those are people I want to always be in communication with. Then calls, other notifications, I don't get them, right? That helps. Or the other apps I get notifications from are things I don't get regular notifications. But for social media apps, where they're giving you notification for somebody that posted a reel, or for someone that liked a comment you made somewhere, those are very distracting. So you can start by turning them off. I call that the notification hygiene. In turning them off, for some people, you might not be able to turn it off. I know that people's work are different. I don't work a lot with WhatsApp, so it's fine that my notifications are off on WhatsApp. But if you're the kind of person that you need to actually get WhatsApp notifications, make sure you set time when you don't receive notifications. For instance, once it's by 6 p.m. every day, you turn off all notifications just so you can reclaim your space. Another thing to do is what we call the sunset hour. No phones about 60 minutes before you go to bed. So that's the last thing you do before you go. That's your phones, not be the last thing you do before bed, right? No phones before bed. Then you can also maintain physical distance. Some people are addicted to their devices that even if you are enjoying the work you are doing, if you are enjoying, even if it's to watch a movie, I'll usually find that funny because it happens to me as well. I'll be watching a movie, and before I know it, I've picked up my phone to go open Instagram to just scroll. And I'm enjoying the movie. So even if it's work, if it's something else, sometimes with a physical distance between yourself and your devices, right? Put your phone far from you. That way you can focus on your work if you're working, or focus on whatever it is that you're doing that matters to you at that point. So it is very important to make sure that you have these digital boundaries. Yes, Henry, that's a good idea. Then next, change the narrative. Our brain is neuroplastic, and what that means is it changes physically based on repeated thoughts that you have. As a research was carried out where people were given placebo. Placebo are like they give you the medications, but it doesn't have the real thing, right? When some people think that they are sick or something is wrong with them, and when you try to tell them that based on diagnostic evidence in some cases, you're not seeing what is wrong with them. You might give them placebo. Placebo is just, I don't want to use the term fake because it's not fake. It's just like a kind of placeholder, so to speak. So they gave this person the medications for that. It was an antidepressant. They gave the person they were supposed to be antidepressants. And of course, as the person was taking it, the person was feeling better. But then person got, because the way some medical research works sometimes, when you volunteer to be in a research, you don't know whether you're in the control group or the other group. It's usually blinded, double blinded studies in some cases. So the person didn't know that he was taking placebos. Then the person decided they wanted to kill themselves with the medications they were taking, took a whole lot of it, got to the hospital, felt all the things. So because in their mind, in their brain, they already thought that these drugs are useful. So they literally felt like they were dying. And because they felt that way, it was showing in parts of their body, saw it in their vital signs. Blood pressure was crashing, heart rate was crashing. So they had to tell the person that what he took was placebos, right? Even in trying to treat the person, because there was no need to flush out anything, because there were no toxins in the person's body, but because the person's mind kept insisting that they were in danger, the body reacted that way. So your brain reacts to your thoughts, reacts to your repeated thoughts. That is why what you think about matters a lot. If you constantly tell yourself that you are drowning, your body will react like you are drowning. So reframe um anything that is stressing you. So rather than seeing it as a threat, for instance, people say, okay, work is very stressful. I don't like my job. See it as a challenge, right? When you see it as a challenge, it helps for better problem solving. If work is doing a lot, rather than seeing it as stressful, say, okay, this is a task that I would really like to complete. I would really like to see the end. So that changes the way your brain approaches the problem. And that also helps with that. So for examples, rather than saying I have too much to do, focus on the say I will focus on the next right step, right? Because sometimes when we feel like there are a lot of things that we want to do, we get crippled just by the volume of it, right? When you have so many things to do, you have so many needs to meet. The fact that there are so many things can just cripple you. But sometimes when you just take the next step, it's doable, right? Another thing you can go with is rather than thinking that you are failing at something, see it as you're learning a difficult skill. I remember the first time I had to analyze complex data using Excel. I was stumped initially because I'd used Excel for a lot of simpler stuff. I'd never had to use a pivot table. And now that is really simple to me. When I see people being very worried about doing calculations in Excel, I look at them and I remember when I was that way. And I had a very tight deadline, right? I needed to like get data on the number of health conditions that was common among a particular number of people, but there were a lot of people. I had over like, I can't remember the number, but it was really a lot. You know, when you're scrolling on Excel and never ends. And I just kept thinking, I don't know this thing. I'm a doctor. Am I supposed to know this? Although now I know that I can know anything. But what I did at that point was I just told my team then that don't worry, I'm going to deliver before the deadline. And I sat with it and told myself that you did not know Excel before. This is your chance to learn. And I learned it. Now I'm better at it. When they give me tasks like that, I complete it in a very short period. But I always remember how stumped I was the first time I saw it. So changing, reframing how I thought about it helped with the way I was able to handle the situation. Rather than seeing things as a threat, see it as a challenge to me. So reframing changes the way your brain handles these things. And helps you to handle them better. So now there are some things that you can see. So in addition to some of these things we said, we also have to talk about the lifestyle aspect. I think one thing Henry mentioned when he was sharing his story was how he learned to say no and he always took out time for himself. We're going to talk about these as well because they're important. So we're going to talk about 4 pillars. So look at it from 4 aspects, starting with the physical aspect. If you go to the gym here, give me a quick thumbs up if you go to the gym or if you exercise in any way, consciously exercise, that is. Okay. I just got only one thumbs up. Okay, that's two now. Thank you. So movement is very important. These days, when people are working, your work will require to just sit in front of the computer from like 8 to 5. Some people don't stand up from their desk. It is becoming a problem. I'm sure if you consume a lot of social media, you'd have seen different people on social media saying being sedentary is the new smoking. And of course, the first thing that comes to your mind is why is everything bad these days, right? To hear this is bad, that's bad. I usually tell people that the problem is that these days that balance is no longer there. In the past, even if people were sitting for long, they were still making out time to move around. But these days, people sit for long hours on end. You're not standing up to move around, even in the middle of your workday. That is something that affects people. So it's very important to make sure you include being physically active to whatever it is you're doing. So the way we spoke about the 90-minute walk sprint, your 5 minutes can be to just take a walk around, right? Just move around for that 5 minutes, then continue to work. Then up next, hydration. Nutrition also plays a very important role. What you eat is very important. Reduced consumption of processed meals, taking carbonated drinks. What happens when you do that is you get a sugar spike, you get an energy spike. And when you get energy spikes, it means you can get the energy crashes as well. So what you take matters. Make sure you're well hydrated. The country is very, very hot. For those in Nigeria, Nigeria is too hot for you to be taking carbonated drinks instead of water, right? So make sure you're taking at least 3 to 4 liters of water every day. What these lifestyle modifications do is that you might not be able to directly see the impact on what is happening to you in your day to day, but they are kind of the background on which some of the other things you do will work on. And they don't only help with stress, they help with other aspects of your health as well. So we've spoken about movement, nutrition, hydration, and then sleep finally. If you're here and you sleep for up to 6 hours, please raise your hand. If you sleep for up to 6 hours every day, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, I see a few hands. Great. So you guys are doing well. One thing that when it comes to sleep, I think my first experience people not sleeping, this person posted on their WhatsApp status then, back to back, sleep is for the poor, sleep is for the poor, sleep is for the poor. And I was like, why are you not sleeping? I'm somebody that for some reason I've always prioritized sleep. Sleeping for at least 6 hours has always been something I do. Even in medical school, when everybody was always going to read at night, after following them to read at night for like 1 week, I knew it was not for me because I was useless during the day. So after trying it out, I knew I could not do that. And I started sleeping better. Even during my professional exams, I would sleep for at least 5 hours on each exam day. And my exams then were like back to back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right. So I would sleep regardless, whether I've read or whether I've not read, or I would sleep. So when I started hearing that people were not sleeping, I found it very odd because why do you think it's the sleep you're not sleeping that is going to affect your life? Why do you think it's because you're designed to sleep for a reason, right? It is very easy. I think someone once told me that I can't sleep for up to 6 hours because I'm learning stuff. I always tell people if you can take out time to do an audit, do a time audit. I'm going to talk briefly about time management here as well. Do a time audit. The things that you're doing that's stopping you from sleeping, are you sure there are not other things you can switch it out with during your day to ensure that you sleep better? For instance, if you spend up to 6 hours on social media every day, you cannot tell me that you cannot get up to 6 hours to sleep. The time you spent scrolling through social media, that thing that is keeping you up at night, you can do it with that time. that you were scrolling online, right? Sometimes all you need is just to do a change in your look at your schedule and make a change there, right? What are you doing with your time? It also applies to work in that there are some people that they are not working when they're supposed to work. Then when they're supposed to be resting, they are worried about work. It makes sense that you are going to be feeling stressed at that point. So make out time to sleep. The recommendation is about 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And I always tell people that even if you're not getting it right now, because some people like, oh, some days I do 6 hours, some days I do 4 or 5 hours. The goal is to keep trying and making sure that you get to that point, right? Don't say because you, I think it's the same thing people say about consistency. Because you didn't show up fully on a day, does not mean you completely drop off the wagon, right? So make sure you're still making out and you're still trying to sleep. But what happens when you sleep? Sleep is when your body fixes itself, right? You've experienced a lot during the course of the day. When you sleep, your body clears out toxins, right? Your body fixes the tissues and cells in your body, and that is important for your health. Up next, we're going to go to the social aspect. These days you see everybody saying me, myself, and I. Everyone is just focused on themselves. I think it's even great that you have a community of fellow professionals here when it comes to that is for you guys. I know people have different communities here and there. Social connection is very important. Being isolated is a stressor if you're on your own, if you don't have people that you can depend on, it is a stressor. Humans are social beings or we're social mammals, right? We are designed to co-regulate. So you need to have your own personal board of directors. Despite having it like at work, you need to have people that you have around you. It is a wellness strategy, having people that you can trust, people that you can meet. What's having people do for you is that they provide a psychological safety net for you, right? It's like psychological safety that they provide for you. You get to handle setbacks. You won't spiral if you have people that are there for you, and you can have them in three different groups. You can have your peer, someone that is your friend, someone that is at the same level as you, going through the same thing that you're going through. Have a senior colleague, somebody who has gone through what you've gone through, and you can go to meet as well to help with that. So it's very important to make sure you have people around you, have your family, have your friends. Don't do life alone. Up next, we're going to talk about the mental aspect. Mental aspect is continuous learning. Don't stay in one place for long and be mindful. I would also like to point to meditation here. If you're a Nigerian, you're a Christian, a Muslim, or a traditional worshiper, one of the three. And what that means is you spend time praying. You spend time taking out time to like focus on whatever it is you worship. And when you do that, it's a form of meditation in a way, because you're trying to like drop off all your burdens at that point, and it helps, right? Also, mindfulness. I mentioned paying attention to things around you, sound, sight, touch, taste. It's something you can also do. Then the environmental aspect also plays a role. Have a workspace that inspires rather than drain. So this is important in that if you don't want to go to work, that is already a problem, right? If you are scared of your line manager, or if you're scared of if you go to work and you just start to shake, like people are going to beat you or you're going to get in trouble, that is a stressor. So it's very important to make sure that your workspace, it allows for you to grow, allows for you to be who you need to be. In some cases, um, you might have no power over that. So that's one thing with stress. I'm going to just talk briefly about the people aspect of that. If it is people that are stressing you, at the end of the day, you only have power over your own reactions, right? You have power over your responses. You cannot determine what another person will say. You can't determine what another person will do. It's only what you can do that is within your power. So as much as possible, be emotionally regulated to the point where what other people are doing does not affect you as much, right? Because, like I said, it is inevitable. People are going to stress you, right? And if it's something that focus on what you have power over and do it. So that's the way to go when it comes to that. So where do we go from here? How do we start? Follow the 1% rule. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. right? Despite the fact that you want to start taking steps, it's not like you can change overnight and stick to it. Pick one strategy today. One of the things you mentioned, if it is to sleep better, it is to practice the ultradian rhythm where you work 90 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. Pick one of all the things you've mentioned and commit to it for 7 days. So pick one thing, commit to it for 7 days, add another thing to that, and just keep taking it on and on like that. You should know that somebody, Will Durant, says, we are what we repeatedly do. So excellence is not an act, it is a habit. This is a bit of a, what do they call it now? A sketch note on some of the things that you've mentioned. So we have the daily tactical reset, we have your tech and sleep discipline, rethinking stress, the mindset audit, and what you can do today. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for engaging, for those who engaged. And I will be taking questions now, or let me just hand this over back to Henry. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agusi. I'm expecting to be seeing claps, at least as emojis, because this has been incredibly rich. I want to pause briefly and check in with our audience. I cannot see chats buzzing. I am surprised. I'm meant to be seeing chats because this
If there are
content,
reactions,
yeah,
thank
I can
you.
see reactions now. Thank you very much. Please pour out your reactions. But I would expect to see chats. I want it to be buzzing. And this content is clearly hitting home. For those of you in the chat, what is the one thing you've heard so far that you wish someone had told you earlier? You can drop it in the chat. Let's hear it. Please let us be very interactive and let us have conversations like this that matter. Before I would bring in the next speaker that is going to give us a mind exercise, I want to put a little bit of reiteration on what Dr. Agresi said, because it is, in fact, it hits home and it hits real deep. Because you see, times like this, personally, I think I'm a faulter of not sleeping 6 hours a day. Even while I was growing up, I always heard it's 7 hours, but that is the importance of sleeping. And sleeping is very, very important. Dr. Agusi stressed entirely on what we should change our narrative from, and that is which are the stress panel we have. When you talk, you have to do too much. You have to strive to think about what you will focus on on the next right step. Then when you think about what you are failing at, you have to try to thrive and learn a difficult skill. The moment you have threats, you change those threats to challenges. She also shared the power of micro recoveries, where you have small wins and big impacts. You have 90 minutes rule, that's the work in sprints, by taking some breaks. I believe there's a lot of persons here fail to commit this exercise, and that is taking a 5-minute break. We are so glued to our screen. In as much as this is the tech era, this is the AI period, we are delving deep into tech and artificial intelligence. But I feel this is the time where we need to also fight back in giving in. Reasons being that we spend so much time on our screens, and Dr. Terila has stressed entirely on the impact it's going to cause. Your eyes would suffer those impacts, your brain as well will suffer those impacts. She talked about breathing in, where you have to breathe in, you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds and hold. So these are things we need to go deep into. And also, where do we start? You try as much as possible to get a lot of sleep. Dr. Tarila, there was a paper I read. He said even if you lose sleep, sometimes you try to get a lot of rest. Some people are having a lot of big insomnia, and they have to tackle a lot of that. They take medicines, they take drugs, they take all sorts of things that can help them to sleep. But the doctor stressed entirely on the fact that you can have a little bit of rest. You listen to songs that are very mild, songs that are calm and peaceful, and it can give you that, even if it's 35 minutes of rest. I heard that it's also very good. And about where you said you can overhaul your whole life overnight. You don't have to give in to reading too much. Have a period where you think about sleeping and resting and also reading. So thank you very much, Dr. Tarila. I really, really appreciate you very much. Please, if you have chats, you have questions, you just drop them on the chat box, and we are welcome to having all of that tackled. So on to the next, we'll have to invite our very own, please, the next slide, so we can see who we are going to talk about. Yes, so I would give a brief summary on Mrs. Fumi Tayo. Please, I would want us to be very attentive and try to mute your mic if you are going to speak. It is my absolute honor to introduce the woman that will take us deep into techniques and methods to keep us hale and healthy. Mrs. Fumi Tayo is a clinical psychologist, certified professional counselor, and a life coach with over 5 years of experience, providing psychotherapy and mental health support to adolescents, young adults, and professionals. She has conducted hundreds of therapy and coaching sessions, helping individuals achieve personal growth, emotional well-being, and lasting behavioral change. She currently works with Psych 360 and also lectures and trains mental health professionals in child and adolescent counseling at ADI College of Counseling, Ikeja, Lagos. She holds MSc and BSc degrees in psychology from the University of Lagos and Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and is currently a PhD candidate in psychology at Redeemers University, Ede, Osun State. She is passionate about empowering people to live authentically and build resilient, meaningfully lives. Please welcome aboard Mrs. Fumi Tayo. You can give claps as well while she comes in. Please, the floor is all yours, Mrs. Fumi Tayo.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Can I get a feedback if I'm being heard? Can somebody hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you.
I can hear you, Ma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for the doctor who had gone ahead of me and had done a lot of, Dr. Tarila Joyce. Thank you so much for that detailed lecture on how to handle our mental health. So I'm not gonna do a PowerPoint presentation because it's supposedly we go into the action. It's called tools. They're psychological tools so that we can bring them out at critical times. It's going to enhance our mental health. But before I go into the talk proper, I want to quickly tell us about a nerve in our body. Have you ever heard the word, don't get on my nerves, don't get on my nerves, and something can be crawling on your nerves? If you touch your body, you have nerve endings in every part of your skin. So we have nerves, all right? And nerves are to do with our mental health. And that's why I want to speak a bit before we go into the exercise so we can know what we're doing, so it won't feel like as if we are doing pseudoscience. All right, so there's a particular nerve called vagus nerve. So vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It's from the back of the stem of your brain, and then it comes through your neck, and it goes to, it's like an electrical wire, very tiny, but it's very powerful, all right? So where it is in the body, it goes through your neck, two of them, and then come through your chest, and then stops at your tummy. So what does it do? You can call it, it's a major information superhighway that connects your brain to your body. It brings information. And what does it do? It works as a calm down switch. So let's say, for instance, wherever you are, they say, lion, 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 lion through the window. And somebody say, I'm just playing. The moment they say lion, all of your internal organs, they are at they are alert, wanting to run. So fight and flight. What vagus nerve is part of the system that controls fight and flight. So when there is such threat, maybe real or perceived, and all the body system is just reacting, wanting to run away, it is the vagus nerve that bring back the rest. Let's say I'm just playing. Some people, we get into rest earlier, easier than one another. Some person say, what kind of play is that? But for the next 5 minutes, somebody is doing it's about the vagus nerve. So vagus nerve, what does it do? It does involuntary management of rests, of heartbeats, of digest. Some people, if there's trouble now, the first thing that happens to them, their tummy will be turning. I just want to use the restroom because there's trouble around. The body system is calibrating and saying, oh, there's danger here. Can you? And then there's a reaction in the system. So it's vagus nerve. When it is well tuned, it readjusts better. And that's why we're here. It works even voluntary. It's like your muscle. Your muscle might not even work involuntary, but it's doing something in your body involuntarily. You can tone your muscle, and you can choose to make it, not toned. So we're saying the vagus nerve does involuntary work in the area of stress, rest, emergency, rest, but we can tone it. So it switches to work on time. All right. And I'm not talking about something we have not heard. Doctor has spoken to us about breathing. But I just wanted us to have an idea of what we're doing when we're breathing. So when you breathe, properly, you are toning your vagus nerve for it to be able to adjust on time. So let me just talk about when your vagus nerve is not toned. What are the when you don't have well-toned vagus nerve? What are the things that will happen? That means it's not working properly. There will be frequent tummy aches. Anxiety will be the order of the day. Quickly, you're already in anxiety. Meltdown, that's emotional dysregulation. People that do, a lot of us, we do it, all of us, because we're all victims of our environments, and we're being taught to dysregulate emotionally. So what happens is that when you are emotionally dysregulating, or you're just angry all of a sudden, you are communicating to your system there's danger around. This place is not safe. And then they are holding their guns, all the internal guns. They are holding their alert that anything will run or will fight, something like that. That's when you dysregulate readily and easily, is because your vagus nerve is not working well. How mental health works is the thoughts that affect your feeling, and your feeling affects your behavior. So it's a lot of information in a short while going on in the mind, but you're communicating to your system. All right. So when the vagus nerve is not well tuned, anxiety will be the order of the day. Tummy aches could be frequent, and emotional dysregulation, like I said, difficulty sleeping is part of it as well. So you can imagine something in the brain and then affecting sleep. I know it's very possible, but sometimes it's difficult to think about it. So if you and I can learn exercises that will help us tone our vagus nerve, we can be in charge of those. All right. So now when you breathe, some things we can do without them. Food. Some people are fasting 40 days, 30 days, they won't eat at all. Yeah. In places like Somalia, there's not even enough food and people are still alive. You just see them gauntlet, you see them in a funny shape. Water, maybe for some days, for some 3 days, somebody might manage not to drink water. But hair, for 1 minute, maybe some people, because of strength exercise, they can keep hair, they can keep without breathing. Some people swim and they can stay longer, but you can't do without hair for like straight 1.5, 2 minutes. So that is telling us how important air is into our body. All right. So when you are breathing, all of us are breathing, but it's automatic and we're not thinking about it. And many a times we're breathing shallowly. What is the communication of that to us in our system? That you see, don't rest though, don't really rest. You can rest, but don't really rest because there could be danger. You might need to run. But when we take the break and breathe very well, and we tone our vagus nerve, what we're doing is that we're saying to the system that we're saying to internal system that, see, you can rest, abundance of air here. There's no danger, there's no trouble. And every internal organ that is responsible for fight and flight goes to rest. So one of the organs that helps us to be able to achieve that is our vagus nerve. So now I want us to do two exercises. One is breathing and the other one is humming. There are external devices to help stimulate vagus nerve, but these ones, they are not invasive. We are not buying anything. We're not using any resources. It's just you have it and you can use it anytime you want. Just know that when you are doing it, you are doing yourself a load shock of goodness. When you're doing these things, they are not cheap. Because I was in the hospital just to do some things and I saw people that were on oxygen. For children, it's 30, that was last year, December, 30,000 naira per day. So you know what it is. And I know they are highly subsidizing if they have gone to private hospitals. So you have air in abundance, you have nursery, you can breathe, it costs you nothing and it does your body a whole lot of good. So why don't you make it a way of life? All right, so this is what we're going to do. I know the doctor had told us the 4 minutes hold, 4 minute breathing in, 4 minutes breathing out. That is a style, right? It's the same thing we're going to do, but I'm going to say different thing. All right. So I want us to close our eyes wherever we are. And then I want us to stop breathing. So the next time you breathe is when you really need to breathe. That is the holding part, the one when the doctor was talking. Stop breathing. And the next time you breathe is when you really, really need to breathe. All right. Now that you're breathing in, I want you to breathe in with your nose. And how do you know you're breathing well? Your diaphragm is filled with air and your tummy is expanded a bit. You know, sometimes you don't even know how to breathe with your shoulder high and then you can breathe. Breathe very well and let your lungs be filled with air. And there's an expansion of your tummy. Now, breathe out slowly through your mouth as if you want to puff out a candle. But do it slowly. All right, so having done that, I want us to add another layer. I don't know how many of us have done it, but see, I want you to look at me now. You can open your eyes and look at me. I want you to do your hands like as if in a praying position. And I want you to push it against each other. I want your muscle, the hand muscle, to know you are doing something. Push it against each other. Push it very well. Push it. Yeah. And as you're pushing it, I want to stop breathing. And then breathing. Release the pushing. And then breathe out as if you're puffing out the candle. So I want you to do like 3 times. Do that thing. So every time you're stopping to breathe, I want you to push your hand against each other. But the moment you move from it, release your hand, right? And then do the breathing. Do it 3 times. When you are done, let me see in the comments box. Done for as many people. Yes, because you are doing something actually. Yeah, it's too fast to Henry. Which one is that one? How good to, yeah, guys, it's okay. So, you know, I said you should do it 3 times. You push, you breathe in, you breathe out, push, breathe in, breathe out, push, breathe in, breathe out. All right, thank you, amazing. Chumbo, thank you. All right. All right. So we have 1 more minute on that so that everybody can be on the same page. Okay, Eukarya, thank you. Eukarya, thank you. All right. So 30 more seconds, and we'll move to the next one that I want us to do, and then I'll be off your faces. All right. Okay, Temitope Osini, thank you.
Please, we need much more inclusions in this. Please, once you're done, you say done, but don't fake it. I don't want it to be faked. Don't fake
Don't
it.
fake it, you make it.
Yeah, exactly. No, this time around, we're not faking it. Please, 3 times. I did it twice, so I have to do it again. So please let us get on this. It's very, very relieving.
All right. Remember, you're communicating to your system that there is abundance of air. So you can relax organs. We are not hyperventilating. We're not fighting anything, right? Yeah. Oluwabukumi, thank you. Thank you. All right, because of our time, we just have to move to the next one. So that's the tool. It can be underneath your belts. Anytime you want to enter an office, you want to speak before the audience, you don't need to pay. Flores, thank you. You don't need to pay. Just bring it out, do it, and a whole truck, a full truck of goodness to the whole body. Before you sleep, you can do it. Very early in the morning, you can do it, right? It's a good one. It's a good one. So the next one I'm going to be making us go through is the humming. Humming is it's a gem in the sense that you know that I told you that the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve goes through the neck. So the voice box it goes through the voice box. So vibration of it will tune the one that is there, and it helps the whole system to work better. So when you are so anxious, you can vibrate your voice box. Yeah, you can vibrate the voice box, and then you're better for it. Even on vagus now, when you are feeling so stressed, you are seated for a long while, you can stand up, shake your body, and you shake the stress off. There's such thing as that. You can shake it up. But now our aim now is to vibrate the voice box so that our vagus nerve is toned and our parasympathetic nervous system is being attended to. It works involuntarily, but we can make it to be in good shape so we can adjust when there's a need for work to be done. All right, so there's a song. I know a lot of us know it, and then if you don't know it, thank God we're not on meeting, so I don't know how you sing, but it's good for you to just be like a baby and do it alongside, right? So the song is a popular song that we know of a very good thing. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else will do, love lifted me. All right. I hope we all know the song. So we're going to hymn the song. You know the yoga people? I'm not into yoga. They do, that's what they're doing. But you can do it with any song you like, just humming. It doesn't have to be in a certain way or no certain way. What we're doing is vibrating the vagus nerve that goes through the vocal cord. And we can do it through singing, through humming. Humming it comes with a very good feedback. You see? All right. And then it does the whole body a whole lot of good, right? So I'll sing the song one more time, and then we're going to hymn like twice, and then I'll be off your faces. I guess that's a good deal. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else will do, love lifted me. So we'll go into humming, and we're doing it twice, and then I'll be off your faces. time, and that will be all. All right. Amazing. Yeah, amazing is having an amazing time. Thank you everyone for having me. I hope it has been a wonderful, wonderful time on your own side because I enjoyed myself here too. Thank you so much for having me.
Mm, mm. Well, I feel good. I don't know about you, but the main game is to feel good after this. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for me for this incredibly rich and exciting exercise. There's a lot that we have to learn every day. The power of breathing in and breathing out. It has helped in a lot of struggles, distressing when you're about to take on projects, when you're about to even take on presentations. It's always good. Even exams, things that are quite challenging, breathing in is also good. And the good thing about sleep. So thank you for going deep into these exercises. We would learn from it, and please always remember what Dr. Tarila said as well. For us that are used to having our phones all the time, try as much as possible to take 1 hour before you sleep. I know it's going to be difficult, but we have to try that. We have to do this, and we have to go deep into it. So thank you very much. For those of you in the chats, I want it to be buzzing. I want you to drop what you enjoy from all this, and then we'll go deep into it. So now we're going to get to the questions and answer series. And now we will move into what I believe is one of the most valuable parts of any session, the Q&A. This is your opportunity to take this from a general conversation to a personal one. I would really want us to have questions that would bring to Dr. Adrese and also to Mrs. Fumi. So please drop them in the comments, or I think most possibly we can have them. You can just raise your hand. I would want at least 5 for the time being because of time. So I'd want 5 questions, and if we can still permit more, I can add up. So please, 5, if you know you have questions, you raise your hand, and then we can allow you have your questions directed to whoever you want it to be. I'm not seeing hands. If you have questions, please drop them in the comment section and you raise your hands for the questions. Anybody? Okay, while we are still thinking on it, I have questions, and I will direct my first question to Dr. Tarila. Yes, so please, my question is going to center on our sitting positions, especially when for us that we are mostly having the sedentary walks, we get to sit down and we understand the importance of standing up and taking a walk. Can you also give us clarity on if there is a schematic time that we have to stand or the time we have to sit, because it has to go in both ways. I was wondering if you can give us a little bit light on that. So this question is for Dr. Tarila. And then for Madam Fumi, please can you also give us shared insights on how this has also helped the humming, the breathing in exercises, how this has been fully impacted on our brains? Dr. Tarila, the first question is for you. Okay, Dr. Tarila, are you online? Can you hear me? Because I don't think you're talking. We have questions that are on the chat box. We have questions on the chat box. We have from YP. We have, what are the early warning signs of burnout that young professionals often ignore? Then we have a question from Agu Jessica. Please, if Dr. Tarila is not talking, we can forward these questions to Madam Fumi.
All right, so I don't get it. Do you want me to answer these questions or the one that pertains to me, right?
You can answer the one that pertains to you regarding what are the positive results, the outcomes that one has gotten after doing the humming, and also that's the breathing in exercises.
All right, so I will just quickly click on that. So there's the benefit of cognitive enhancements, okay, because breathing enhances oxygen delivery to the brain. It improves focus, memory, and cognitive control. And there's sorting as brainwave modulation as well. There's alpha and beta brainwave that is associated with calm and focused mental states, still bothering about being calm, being focused. So like I said, it helps emotional regulation. So it regulates fear and anxiety. Because when fear and anxiety sets in, it is the physiological signs in the body that are part of the way another person will know that there's an anxiety of this person. Everything is just turning up and down in the body. But when breathing in, deep breathing is allowed, it introduces, it calms those physical symptoms that can be easily to be evidenced to other people, and then it makes the person feel good in themselves. So also, this is deep science. It can, when it is a way of life, it can increase gray matter following. Ventilation in the brain will help there to be good decision making, executive functioning in the brain, the front part of the brain, though, when you are supplying it with, what is good for it, it can improve in quality. It can help it to improve. So in short, focus, calmness, what you don't even know it does in the brain, the quality of executive functioning that we can produce to people. It calms anxiety. It helps us in emotional dysregulation. So you can see somebody is very angry and they're about to talk or do something, and then somebody says, just breathe in first, breathe, and it can calm in all of this situation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So it can calm, like you all heard, when you breathe in and have these exercises, it's going to calm you and your brain. So I would move to the chat box. We have questions buzzing in. So the very first questions, these questions are all forwarded to Mrs. Fumi, the psychologist, and it's going to be very, very entertaining. So the very first question here is, what are early warning signs of burnout that young professionals often ignore? This is the very first question. So Mrs. Fumi, the floor is all yours.
All right. So early sign of burnout is so basically when your functioning is being affected, when you are now have a long fuse, you have a short fuse now. You are easily irritated. What used to be exciting to you, you're not interested in them any longer. You sleep less or you sleep too much. you eat less, or you eat too much. All these, they are signs that you have to slow down and pay attention to yourself. You start an a work, a project, you didn't finish it, and unlike you, it's unlike you. All right. These are signs you are picking fights with everybody readily and easily. Yeah. These are the signs for you to know that, okay, I need to take a break. I need to slow down. I need a timeout before it becomes escalated and it's affecting different parts of the world. You know, under burnout, some people don't want to see anybody, and they just shut everybody out. And then a lot of things are suffering. Some people will not go for exams. Some people will not go to classes for many days, and people will be reaching out to you. They say, no, I don't want to come. So when we begin to see these signs, eating pattern, sleeping pattern, losing interest in what used to be very interesting, becoming so sensitive in relationship with everybody, picking fights readily and easily, can't finish what you start. There's no such motivation to finish what you start. From my own explanation of what is on ground, it's a time for us to take a break and pay attention to ourselves. I hope that speaks to it.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. I think that settles it. So move to the second question. My question, Dr. Terila said, don't let anyone stress you. So if you are in an office setting and under lots of stress and pressure, how do you at that point don't let anyone stress you? Before you answer this, I remember when you spoke heavily on anger, on how emotions can also affect the brain. So I believe if you have anger issues here, you'd have to listen to this. This is a point where anger does more harm to your system. Having an unforgiving spirit also has more to your system than ever. So the floor is all yours, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to say that there are realities around us. You have your internal realities, and then you have your external realities. So if you are being stressed from the outside, okay, so I want to use an example. Two people, they have their hand bared. They are wearing a cloth that shows their hand, and somebody is coming from behind, just in a bid to make them, just to have fun with them. So it presses on their hand suddenly. So one of the two people that had their hands bared, right, has a wound, maybe not visible, maybe the muscles are tender. The person on the left has their muscles very tender, right? And the person on the other side, on the right, is okay, nothing. But the same prayer was applied to the same part of the arm of two different people. They are different. We have different reactions. Why? Because there was a wound already on someone, and the other person does not have wound. So you just feel like that. What's up now? And then they moved on. The other person, so what are we saying here? There are stress from the external world, but if we have internal stress, it's escalated. It gets the stress. It gets the external stress escalated. So while people give you stress, you may choose not to take the stress. So when they say, you have not done the file, what about the project? What level it is? You see not the level it is that it is. You talk about the level it is. So this is about assertive communication. It's about saying what it is, except for if you have not done your part. I'm not playing down on somebody who felt stress and what people are doing around them is stressing them more. That's the example I gave. If you are stressed on the inside, if you have the mindset that people stress people, if you have the mindset that nobody's even nice in this world, and you have pressure on the outside, you will dysregulate readily. But if you have the understanding that, see, whatever that is coming from the outside, what's the worst that can happen here? They say, go, don't work with us again. And so it's not the end of the world. So what? So I'm not going to let anybody get at me. So when you talk to me, I'm going to process it. Are you attacking my person, or you're speaking to the work on ground? All right. So it's about what makes the pressure that is coming from outside become unbearable is when your internal condition, your atmosphere on the inside is not calm on its own. Because there's nothing you can do about people giving you shit and stress. Permit me, I'm so sorry. I apologize for the use of that word. So you just have to be careful to your boundaries. You have to create your boundaries on the inside. Nobody get at me unnecessarily. I'm not going to dysregulate. I'm not going to behave like as if I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever that comes to me, I process it well. And so if you premeditated on those things, there's a way it's going to help you to handle when stress comes. And if you are stressing on the inside, if your internal world is not calm and there's so much chaos, handle it. Do you get? And then personally handle it. And don't think they are so stressing me in this office. Nobody comes from their home to come and stress you personally. Many times people that stress or that they are stressed on the inside themselves. So why will somebody else's emergency become my own? Somebody else's irresponsibility, they are being stressed, their wife stressed them from now becomes my emergency. So you're not happy. We can do a safe boundary around who we are, what we are set to do for the day. Even when there are emergencies to attend to, we don't necessarily have to allow people to trigger us beyond what should be. I hope I speak to that.
Yes, very, very, very correct. Thank you very much. I would read the third question before. I can see that Mr. Alex hand is up, so I would read the third question, and then when you answer it, then we'll move to Mr. Alex question. So I think this one centers entirely on you, ma'am, because you are a psychologist, and I believe this third question is going to revolve around this. So from Ochimbu, she said, he or she said, I have noticed a significant change in my desire to be around others. Is this like a clinical symptom of burnout or an anxiety disorder? She says, the person also said, I can't tell what's wrong, really. So please, you have the floor.
All right, so like I said, when you become this sensitive, it's the time to take a break and attend to yourself, right? We can't say what it is because there is such thing as comorbidity, how do I put it now? Symptoms that that could be speaking to different conditions. Like I've listed it. Is it a burnout? Is it an anxiety disorder? Is it, do you see? There could be different conditions that may have the same symptoms until you go see a specialist, a professional about it, that you'll be able to say, this is what I'm dealing with. All right, I have to hear your story. So let me say something here. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Mental health, don't say mental health. What is mental health? Your mental health is how your thoughts affect your feelings and how your feelings affect your behaviors. So I'm very sure if you are very, you have no desire to stay around people, if I check with you, what's your thought about people? It can't be good. And it could be as a result of some experiences, not one experience, back to back, that is strengthening that, that is strengthening that mindset about people not being good. People are hurt you and hurt you and hurt you, and you have a conclusive ending that's I beg. Let people just be on their side. Let me be on my side. You see? And then if you don't go to address that, so let's say there are over 8 billion people on the face of the earth, and like maybe 10 people in a row, they hurt you and hurt you and hurt you and hurt you. And then you come to a conclusion that, I don't even want to deal with people any longer. I just want to be on my own. Don't you feel that that is too much a decision because of some experiences? You cannot tell if you are doing anxiety disorder or burnout by just saying these two lines. You have to go see a professional, and then they have to explore what the issue is. and then you'll be able to, but there's a problem. Yeah, because we are gregarious and we're to live together. Imagine if we didn't come today because everybody wants to be on their own. What the little we learn, we will not menace. All right. Goodness is where people are. So when people are saying, I want to be by myself, what happened in the long run is that they remain small. They learn not to relate. When they go out to relate, they will be misbehaving. And then you're wondering, where will this person be? Is it, but even in the forest, we're actually talking this way. So when you stay around people, they hurt you, you learn to get over it, to talk to them about, learn how to talk about it. You increase your, people's capability, people's skill. All right. I'm not saying it's good whatever anybody had done to you. Yeah. I'm just saying when you now feel like I don't want to be around anybody, you have gotten to a point whereby you need to seek for help so that it will not be a long-term problem eventually. All right.
Okay, thank you very much for enacting deeply on that. Mr. Alec, you have the floor, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
I think it's very it's necessary for the younger generation to understand what's going on, outside, just going to work and how it affects everything. I don't know if I can say I'm the oldest person in this forum, but with my wealth of experience, I just want to tell young geoscientists, especially since this is a young professionals platform. And Mrs. Taiwo, your use of the word is appropriate because that is what it is. It is very messy. It is something that messes up people's thoughts, messes up people's focus. It affects how they perform. And I want young geoscientists to understand that toxicity in the workplace is not acceptable. You have a right to speak up against it. If your work life is affecting your life, you need to ask questions about it. In my experience of working in different sectors, I've worked in oil and gas, I've worked in tech, I've worked everywhere. I've seen the situation where toxicity just breeds a beast and a culture that by the time it starts to blow up out of proportion, it affects the organization you are working for. And it affects the organizational outputs. And for those of you who are passionate about geosciences or passionate about what you are doing, do not allow anybody into that space that makes you happy. Do not look at what your manager is doing to you or what your boss is doing to you that is not making you happy and allow it to affect what makes you happy. So you must find that space that makes you happy. And you must keep yourself happy and you must block out all the noise. You must filter off all the noise. As they have said, the question is asked. You have to understand, is it a professional question or an emotional question? In the Nigerian setup, we tend to not separate our emotions from being professional, which is part of our culture. Everybody has their own inherent culture that determines how they behave. So you guys need to understand that, but also understand that there are a lot of people who are not happy as well. So do not allow them make you unhappy. That's all I'm just trying to say here. Your happiness is key. Your happiness increases productivity. Your happiness allows you to thrive. Your happiness allows you to thrive. Your happiness allows you to be productive. And that is a direct impact on the companies you are working for or your company that you are building. So just be happy, please. You guys be happy. Do not allow, there is a lot of nonsense you will see from people within organizations. Do not allow them get into your space. Do you get me? Always protect yourself. And I hope that with this talk that you've had, it will guide you on how you will go about this going forward. And if you find yourself in a situation now that you are unhappy, look for somebody to talk to. Look for somebody to ask questions. Have a mentor that is good. reach out to professionals if you have to. The professionals are there. Everybody looks at mental health as being a stigma in Nigeria. It is not. We are religious people. You can talk to your pastor about it. You get me? But seek a professional and ask for advice and help yourself. You get me? Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much, Mr. Alec. Thank you for also in fact, we welcome you about it. This is a brilliant topic, brilliant discussion, and also delving us deep into always speaking out and not being in a toxic environment. We really appreciate your presence. Even though this is a young professional, we appreciate you every time for always involving yourself in things like this. I appreciate you, sir.
I'm young in spirit.
Very, very, very so, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I believe we have our questions and answers already fulfilled. So we're going to delve into vote of thanks by our Honorable Olaiton. So please, the floor is all yours. Can you hear me? Okay, I want to commend you. Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Chisom, for commending the organizers. Please, if you for the vote of thanks, can we delve into that? Okay, in the absence of Mrs. Olaiton, I would want to use this moment to thank each and every one of us. It is indeed an eye-opener and a lot to learn from professionals in this unit. The questions were even mind-blowing. And myself, I learned a lot. I learned that it is very imperative that we take our health seriously. I know we take our health seriously, and like Mr. Alec also implied, do not see it as a stigma to also include your mental health taken seriously, because a lot of people have been in toxic environment, toxic relationships, toxic, family or whatever, and they are in serious problem. Even when we are here, there was a person that asked a question about not being she doesn't like being around a person, he or she doesn't like being around a person, and you don't tend to see those kind of things and you just leave it one side. You have to talk to the person, show the person that there is love and there is also an open-hearted mind to being around people that are very, very, very productive and very progressive. So thank you all for your presence. Thank you for everyone that has also, put their time into this, making this happen. I appreciate you. And as we are coming to the close of what we have been, it has been truly enriching. And I want to take a moment to also honor the gift that Dr. Adrese has also given us, on behalf of her, and every other single person on this call, and also on behalf of NAPE Young Professionals. Thank you. You did not just share information, you all shared insight, honesty, and hope. And we are all deeply grateful. To the organizing team, to Mr. Oluwaseun Ogudipe, our NAPE YP lead, Olaiton Kubuwo, our welfare and events manager, and also to Abioye Banjoko, our publicity secretary, and every other NAPE executives. Thank you all for making this happen. Events like this do not run themselves, and your dedication to the welfare of this community is seen and appreciated. To everyone who joined us today, thank you for choosing to invest in yourself. That is not a small thing. In a world that constantly demands more from us, choosing to learn how to take care of our mind as an act of courage and wisdom. I'll leave you with this. Thriving beyond stress is not about having a stress-free life. It is about building a life where stress does not have the final word. You are not your deadlines. You are not your to-do list. You are a human being and you deserve to flourish. So thank you all. I would leave the floor to Mr. Bioye to give the announcements. Thank you all.
All right. Okay, I believe you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Yo, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Henry, for moderating this great, awesome session we just concluded. And thank you so much. I can still see Mrs. Fumi Taiwo. Thank you so much for the exercise. What's the point of doing? Sorry, am I echoing?
I think you might mute one of.
Okay. Okay, what about now?
Much better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I noticed I was echoing. Yeah. So I was saying that what's the point of, having all the talk without having, to do practical? And I really want to appreciate Mrs. Fumi Taiwo for that. I wish Terila was still online. I wanted to harass her positively a bit. Yeah, so but it's all good. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll just you can just see through the slide as I move them. You have seen the ESCO, you already know this. And our last meeting, our last technical series we had, not really a technical meeting per se, but yeah. So preparing for postgraduate study abroad, you can already find that on YouTube. So I know that a lot of us are young professional, and of course, we are still building our career. So you can go online, go on YouTube to see this video. It's all there. And I also want us to look out for our next program. I'm trying to rush through it because of our time. So for April, we have a charity event, which of course tomorrow. So then we have our World Geology Day and technical series. So our World Geology Day is 4th of April. And of course, you know where we're going if you don't know yet. Yeah, so this is a charity event. This is the flyer. You must have been seeing it. We still need your support. Perhaps you have anybody that can support us, please. You can chat us up. You can see Uche's contact there. I mean, Olaiton's contact there. You can reach out to Olaiton. We can give you a letter that you can help us submit, a letter of support. So we need your help, and we need your help both financially and physically. So you can reach out to Olaiton. Our number is right there on the screen, on the flyer. And this flyer is on all our social platforms. So here you can see the last charity event we had, on the street of Bariga. So you can see the children, how excited, the joy we brought to them. Aside from the gifts, the joy, the time we had with them, the time of learning and all that. They had fun, dancing, we engaged them. So you can see this. So these are part of what young professionals do, and we want you to be part of this. You understand? This experience, this kind of experience, they don't forget it easily. You understand? So we don't just do technical. We also reach out. So you can see the slide. You can see some of our members in young professional community. As they come together to support, and you can see on the right side of the screen, you can see the children getting the toy gifts and all getting the gifts. You can see their gift bag raised up. You can see the food and all that. So these are part of what we really want you to be part of. So please, you're available. We want to see you around. Kindly reach out to Olaiton. Olaiton is the welfare secretary. Please reach out to her so you can be part of this. So also, like I said, World Geology Day, you must have been seeing this flyer too. We are going all the way from Lagos to Abeokuta, Olumorok. So this is very, very special. So Olumorok, you can see the pickup time. The pickup time they quote is 8 a.m. So we advise that you come in very early. we are going out of Lagos, so we want to do African time. So, and the way it is, we have a bus on the island and maybe one on the mainland. So, but if you really want to be a part of this, which I want to be part of, you can see there 7K for early registration as far as at yesterday to next week Wednesday. Then from Thursday next week to Saturday morning, or let me say Friday night, yes, it's 10,000 naira. So please do well to register. And as you go through the registration form, you see other details, that will give you more, more details around this. And once you're added to the group also, more details of, how we're going to leave, where each bus will leave from, especially the one on the mainland now. So you will see, yeah, so you will see where we are, departing from, where the bus is leaving from. So I want us to all, get this information, no mix up. You can see, reach out, limited slot available to participate, reach out to Uche, and his number is right there on the screen. Yeah, so this is last year edition. We're at Lufasi Nature Park, and you can see it here. Look at this picture slide as Young Professional came out. You can see our president here, Mrs. Olajumoke. You can see her here. So I can promise you that it's always an awesome time when we gather together, whether to learn or to have fun. It's always an awesome time. So you can look through the slide. So this is a member of our Young Professional, and you can see here your YPS code and look at our beautiful geology cake. So you can imagine the fun having to describe a cake like this. So, and I anticipate this year cake, the nice decision we're going to make out of it. Yeah, so this is a video, but because of our time, I won't be playing this. So, and yeah, for April, technical business meeting. So you can see not pay April technical meeting. So I want you to book your calendar Wednesday, April 15. So you had Mr. Alexander. It was online. I was hoping that it would still be here. So, and all that. But, you've heard from him. You can see he's a very lively person and all that. So this is also a technical business meeting happening live in Lagos that you don't want to miss. And also the mentoring cycle, registration is on, application is open. So deadline is Monday, 20th of April. So you can hear Mr. Alex said you should speak to your mentor. You're going through stuff in the industry and all that. So you should have someone you are speaking to. So this is another avenue where you can register. You're a member of NAPE, active member. Why not go and register? Go through the form, register, and get yourself a mentor. Everybody needs a mentor, at least. Everybody needs a mentor. So everybody you are looking up to, they all have a mentor. So now we have unveiled this. These are masthead for the 2026 Annual International Conference and Exhibition. So you must have been seeing this around, and all that. So this is to tell you that registration has started. This is to tell you that you need to start preparing your calendar for this year conference. This is to tell you that you need to invite your friends, tell your friend in case they don't know. Tell them about the conference. It's always awesome. A time of learning, a time to explore, to look ahead, and all that. So this year team is unlocking more barriers, driving reserve growth through exploration, local capabilities, and adaptive technology. Look at very awesome topic, and it's very relevant. So yeah, I know who is excited to see this. So like we used to encourage, please, let's pay up our due. Let's pay up our due. So when you see here, so we want every YP to stay connected and benefit from this community. To support this, please take note of the following updates. Grace period. We have a grace period to get our due sorted. The grace period expires March 31st. It's just a few days from now, about 3 days from now. So March 31st, 2026. So, and one of the things that you have to look out for is that anytime we're having physical events, physical learning, and all that, will give more attention to people that are up to date. You understand? People that have paid their due. So after March 31st, access to YP physical events and activities will be discounted for financially up to date members only. You understand? And most time we give rewards out, gifts, and award out to people. So people that we consider are people that are financially up to date still. So please, so we are encouraging us to pay our dues. So to pay our due is very easy. The account number is right here on the screen. We know who I'm supposed to reach out to, Mr. Mayowa, they can also call him Mr. Daniel. So he's the registration officer. You can reach out to him, and you can also reach out to any admin if you're on the Young Professional Group and you want to make your payments. So please, let's pay off, right? Let's pay off. Let's pay off. So most of the programs we do and all that, is from deals like this, and all that we use to organize all these things. So please, we encourage that we all pay our dues. So lastly, if you are not following us on social media, you should be doing that right now. This is where you get all information, all updates, and you're not left out. So we are on YouTube. YouTube is where we put most of our videos, like this technical meeting today now. You'll find it there. You understand? This X series, you find it there. By Monday, you find it there. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, which is also X, and we're on LinkedIn. And we also have a community on LinkedIn. So please, let's connect and let's stay connected. Let's connect and let's stay connected. So once again, we've had, an awesome time. I want us to, reminisce on everything that has been said. You can go back and rewatch the video again. A lot have been said. Thriving beyond stress, a practical strategy for mental wellness. You understand? So there's a picture I used to have in my head that the process of getting to a particular point in life is as important as that particular point you are aiming at. You understand? How you manage your health will determine how you will enjoy the success when you get there eventually. So please, I want us to pay attention to all this. And once again, thank you for joining us. And don't forget, the next big event is a charity event. Then after then, we are moving to the World Geology Day, going all the way from Lagos to Abeokuta. Understand? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate. Thank you and have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bioye. Thank you very much for the insightful announcement. Now it all boils down to the closing remarks, and I'm happy that everybody has been, in fact, filled up with a wealth of knowledge. So for our closing remarks, we can have our president to give us a closing remark. Thank you all.
Yeah, so I don't think Mr. Shehu is on the call anymore. So, but it's all fine. So, Uche, Mr. Uche Chuku Ohale, can we have it for the closing remark? Thank you. You can unmute. We can't hear you. I know you're unmuted. Okay, all right.
Everybody, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear.
All right. Thank you so much for the section, to our speakers for the section. So on behalf of the NAPI YP schools, I say a very big thank you to everyone that took out their time to attend this webinar. We appreciate and we see you, and we hope that you continue joining us for more and for future webinars and physical events that we have in mind. We have planned out for this year. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, and do have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Uche. So we'll leave a little bit of takeaway before we close up. Remember, there are a few things that you have to learn along the way. 1, remember to say no without guilt. 2, build a small trusted inner circle. Don't have a lot of friends that can, it's good to have a good networking approach, but always keep